Yo, what's good, everybody? I want to thank you for tuning in to another review of Tyler Perry's Zatima. And this is going to be an overview of episodes 5 through 8. I wasn't sure if I was going to continue to review the show. However, I received many messages of encouragement and questions about continuing to review. So here it is for those who want to listen. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, you already know what it is and what it always will be. And like I said, this is going to be an overview. I'm not going scene by scene. I ain't doing all that. But you know what I'm saying? Still going to give you guys a good review from my perspective on what I saw. So we were introduced to a new character by the name of Deja, who is a potential tenant of Zach's. And there is an instant attraction. You know what I'm saying? The sparks was flying. They was both loving what they saw. And I'm like, come on. So like I said in my last review, Zach, every woman on this show except Angela wants Zach in some way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, and we couldn't even stop with the women. Now we got to deal with Bryce. And I'm going to get to that a little later. But anyway, she's someone that came into the picture due to what's the girl name, Valerie. And so, you know, she's anxious about renting this place out. It's her first time having her own spot. So, you know what I'm saying, she's happy, she's ready to get the ball rolling. So as she comes out, you know, Zach was looking at her a little too hard, you know what I'm saying, for someone to be in a committed relationship. It's okay to look. I am not saying that. It is okay to look, but it's another thing to look a little too damn much. And so when they walk back outside, we see Nathan and Tony. Now, let me just say this. Nathan and Tony are some trash as men and trash as friends. I'm assuming they're supposed to be like a low budget Tommy and Cole, but at least we enjoyed Tommy and Cole. We liked Tommy and Cole. We were invested in Tommy and Cole. Anthony and Tony, I could really do without them. You know what I'm saying? I really could do without them, especially Nathan. We'll get to him. But I just don't know what they can do to redeem themselves in my eyes as a viewer. And what I mean by that is Nathan is so rude and disrespectful. When Valerie came over, this is someone who she's never seen a day in her life. She doesn't know him. And this man dropped down his shorts, as we saw in a previous scene, bare ass, just showing bare ass in front of this woman. And I'm like, and you're married and you have kids. Lord, you are somebody's father. Wow. But I just have no interest in them. I don't even find them funny. And so, excuse me. So I'm skipping over a lot of stuff because to me certain things just was irrelevant. And so we get to the place where they're trying to convince Zach to go to this party. Zach is not the least bit interested because he talked to Fatima earlier. He could tell something was wrong, but she wasn't forthcoming with the information. So as Tony goes out to buy alcohol, he sees Fatima out with Ian. He doesn't know he doesn't know who Ian is. However, he takes a picture of them on his phone as the two are embracing. There's a scene with Angela and Fatima, you know, confides in Angela about what's going on with Ian and the fact that he has cancer. And Angela is kind of skeptical because Ian lied so much while he and Fatima were together. She really doesn't believe it, or she believes that, does Fatima think there's a possibility that Ian is lying? And Fatima is certain that he's telling the truth. And Fatima says something that I had to call cap on. So Fatima says that she did not want to talk to him, but she was willing. Like, I can talk to him, but I really don't want to. I said, I'm going to call cap. I'm going to call cap because, and further on in the scene, I do believe there is a part of Fatima that wants some type of closure. I'm someone who doesn't necessarily believe in closure because I feel like that's giving another individual too much power and control over our healing process. Because what if someone doesn't want to talk to you and you feel you need closure? What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? And to me, closure is just I don't want to say it's a psychological construct, but I just feel like it's pointless because all it is us trying to make sense of the hurt and the pain or the abandonment or whatever negative connotation of emotion that we've gone through. Like, it has to make sense. There has to be a rhyme and reason why this person did this to me or why I experienced this. And sometimes you don't get quote unquote closure, but you still have to heal from what you've previously experienced. And I think that when we saw the scene with Fatima and Ian and we find out more about their dynamic, Fatima and Ian dated for 3 years. And in the midst of those 3 years, Ian was still dating his ex-girlfriend. Like, wow. We find out that Fatima was pregnant and she allowed Ian to talk her into terminating the pregnancy. It doesn't seem like that's what she wanted to do, but that's what happened. Also, I was disappointed in how the story, because I felt like that was a powerful thing and I could relate to Fatima. I could relate to her pain. Not that my story is identical to hers, but it's very similar. So I can understand where she was emotionally, and to see the person sitting across from you, I'm sure that did something. You know what I'm saying? And so I really, I could feel her in that moment. And when Ian began to speak, he talked about how he felt like with Fatima, he wasn't going to be able to have fun with this other woman he would, and the fact that this other woman had money. And I'm like, okay, that's a hole in the storyline because Fatima comes from money. Fatima comes from wealth. So I felt like, this is just my personal opinion, I felt like Tyler could have did more with that storyline. Like, you already hit us with this big emotional thing that Fatima went through, but then to kind of water it down with, oh, this other woman had money. Like, really? You know what I'm saying? That didn't sit well with me. I felt like it could have been fleshed out a little more, but that's just me. So Fatima, she meets up with, she goes back home. She meets Tony and Nathan for the first time. They were acting real funny because they know about the picture. And so they show, I'm sorry, y'all gonna say I'm insensitive. I don't care. When Tony showed Zach that picture, first of all, second and third, I'm like, I know he not crying over a picture. My dude, I know you not crying. I know. I was so shocked that Zach was crying. I'm like, what the hell is this? This doesn't even make sense. First of all, you do know who Ian is. Secondly, my whole thing, because previous episodes, they met each other in the midst of them running. But I'm like, you crying over a picture? You crying over an embrace, my dude, my G? What? I thought that was team too much. That's just me. I didn't think it warranted that. But anyway, so we get to Fatima is taking a shower. Excuse me, she's in the tub. Zach gets out the shower, and they are both just really being immature in this moment. They're not confiding in each other about their emotional state at the time. Fatima was just like, I don't really want to talk about anything. Zach could tell she had been crying, and to his defense, he was concerned about, hey, what happened? And she was not being forthcoming earlier in the episode. So I understood why he was upset. But then we saw Zach resort to what he normally does. He just didn't go all the way with Deja, but he was still acting inappropriate for someone who's in a committed relationship. And I do have to call out Fatima as well, because it's like, girl, just tell this man what's going on. Like, it ain't that deep. I do even understand not being able to flush out how you feel all the way. And it could be, and I think this is where, we talk about being 100 to being honest in these relationships. And sometimes we may not have the adequate words to speak. But I'm confused right now. My ex got in touch with me. He has a terminal illness. I don't know how to process that, because even though it's over, this is someone I know I'm going to genuinely love for the rest of my life. Not in love with him, and it's not a romantic love, but I have a genuine concern for his well-being. And this is what he presented to me today, and it's just, knocked me off my rocker a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because Zach has told Fatima several times that he's going to always love Karen. So I felt that he could have been understanding if Fatima presented it a certain way. So he goes out to this party. He sees Deja. His possible baby mama is there too, but she was in the scene, but she wasn't recognized. But this is the thing I want to call out, because I've listened to, and a lot of you have like, oh, listen to this person review of Zatima, listen to this person. I would never give anybody I would never call out anybody's name, but I haven't seen anyone mention this. So a lot of people were doubting the fact that Zach actually slept with Heather because he's been so forthcoming about everyone else that he's been with, and I do agree with that. However, when Nate and Tony saw Heather, they knew exactly who she was, and they knew that she was someone that Zach was having sex with while he was with Karen. And I haven't heard any reviewer talk about that, but that's just real talk. We go back to that scene because they were show called like, oh, that's the girl you was with when you was with Karen. She was your side piece. So we have confirmation that Zach did have sex with Heather because his boys know about it. We gonna just put that little tidbit out there because nobody else talked about it. But anyway, so he's at this party and we see Deja. And so he initially he thinks that she's catering. But baby girl opened up her jacket and was like, "Do it look like I'm catering up in this bed?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, ooh." So he gives her the keys. He makes the decision to allow her to rent the apartment, which I'm like, huge mistake because you are, regardless if he knew what she did as far as dancing, there was already a sexual attraction there. And if Zach was not with Fatima, he definitely would have sex with Deja. I'm totally convinced of that. So Zach gets crazy drunk and Deja begins dancing and he's like in a trance of the way she's moving her body. And she's doing a damn good job. I'm not even gonna hate on sis. She's doing a great job. But I'm like, Lord, Zach, don't mess up. So basically, who we don't see in the crowd is Belinda. And Belinda sends a text message. She takes a picture, she sends it to Angela, and she sends it to Fatima. So Angela and Bryce, you know what I'm saying, they construct this plan to go rescue Zach and all of this stuff like that. So he goes to the party and gets Zach. At the time, Zach has no shirt on. He's all hugged up on Deja. I'm like, where the hell is your shirt? Why you ain't got no clothes on? Why you ain't got no shirt on? But anyway, so they're in the car going back to the house. Fatima is furious. So she's packing a bag because she doesn't want to see Zach and she was going to go stay at Angela's for the night or what have you. So they have this huge argument in front of the house. I'm like, y'all in these white people neighborhood. Let me not say that because I don't know if white people say that. But you in this neighborhood, sir, and you and Fatima are showing y'all asses out here dropping these MFs and these F-bombs. I'm going to need y'all to take it in the house or just call it a day and don't talk to each other right now. Because, he had glitter all on him and Fatima, was I don't know if she was really under the impression that Zach had sex with this person, but clearly you was doing something you had no business, which was correct. And Zach was like, I didn't do nothing. Let me tell y'all something. People talk about these other characters, about them being emotional, and I stand on this, and I have said this several times in my sister's reviews. Zach is the most emotional ass person on this cast, sisters and Zatima. He sucks his teeth more than anybody I've seen on the shows. He whines more than anybody I've ever seen on this damn show. It just is what it is. Like, sir, please. Bryce, go grab him a tissue before he start crying again. But anyway, so he's I didn't do nothing. I'm like, this is typical Zach. But of course he is so drunk. So, you gonna leave in the car I bought you in? I'm like, first of all, sir, she never asked you to buy her a car. She wakes up one morning and you went and bought her another car. She was perfectly fine with the car that she had, but you wanted to make her dream come true of having her dream car, bro. And that's what you did. I said, see, that's what happened. You let somebody do something for you, they want to throw it up in your face. So after they go their separate ways, and we get this scene with last review, I talked about how I've never, and this is before I knew Bryce was going to try anything with Zach. I have never seen Zach touch a man, pick up a man as much as he has done with Bryce. And then he talked about how, well, before we get to that, Zach gets naked. He goes and he takes a shower while Bryce is still there. Bryce is incredibly turned on by this whole situation because when he gets home, he is rock hard. And Angela is like, babe, what's up with this? Like, why you so hard? Oh, whatever. And I'm going to just say this. And I'm sorry. I love everybody on the cast. Y'all doing a great job. But I'm gonna need Bryce to act like he actually loves Angela, likes Angela, is attracted to Angela. I don't know if he's bi. I don't know if he's, gay. I don't know what his sexual how he identifies himself as, but I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more convincing to me that you actually like Angela, because it don't seem that way. I don't know what's going on. You very bland. Very bland. But she ends up giving him head or whatever, and I guess they have sex, and Fatima hears whatever, but they didn't show that part, thank God. But so we get to the next day, and Fatima goes to Zach's house so they can have this conversation, and she sees Deja moving in. They have their exchange. She recognizes who Deja is, and she was telling Zach, like, hey, this ain't gonna work. She need to leave. I know people like her. Is she gonna get to a point that she can't pay the rent? And all of this stuff like that. And to Zach's credit, Zach tried to terminate the lease, but just like Valerie told him, she can sue you. It could be discrimination. You found out she's a dancer. And I get all of that, but it's only a 6-month lease. So hopefully they can ride these 6 months out and, go on about their business. But it's Tyler Perry and his drama, so we know that's not going to be the case. Zach and Fatima's conversation, I don't really know. Like, it's just something about them where it's like, there's a lot of issues in their relationship, which that happens. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm finna jump into the last episode 8, the last scene, and then I work my way back. So when we see Fatima and Zach at this restaurant and they're having this conversation, and Zach is trying to be in the moment and Fatima's on her phone, he keep asking her who she's texting. She does not answer him. I think he asked maybe 2 or 3 times, and she does not answer the question. And Ian comes. He lives above the restaurant. Now, this is what I don't like, because like I said, people, hey, listen to this person review, listen to that, listen to this. Now, what I don't like is, and some of these same people review sisters and they're very hard on those other characters and stuff like that, which that's their prerogative. But when we get to Zach and Fatima, it's like, oh, they get all this grace extended because it's Zach and Fatima. No, Fatima was wrong as hell. First of all, if I was Zach, I probably would have showed my ass, because I wonder how Fatima would feel if they were out at this romantic restaurant. Zach is on his phone texting. She's asking him who he's texting. He's not responding. And then you see Karen ass walk in. It would be a problem. But yet, this what you do to Ian. This was a man who you were so in love with. Zach understands this. Y'all still having these problems, and you brought this man to y'all table to tell Zach, I once had her. I'm doing exactly what you do. Like, I felt that scene was so, man, it was mad disrespectful on Fatima's part. And I don't blame Zach for responding the way that he did. And then even when he got on his knee to propose, I was like, what the hell is this? Zach and Fatima are in no way, shape, or form, to me, in a position for engagement. Y'all just had this. Y'all have so many problems, and you can't verbalize how you feel to each other, but yet you want to commit. Like, I just thought that was team too much, and I thought that it was just maybe proposing in the 2nd season, maybe, or a 3rd. But I'm like, hell, y'all ain't invested that much. What y'all been together 6 weeks? You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I felt like, I just felt like it wasn't sincere. I do believe that Zach loves this woman. And I believe that, it's something is different and it's new. But it's like, fall back some. Y'all ain't ready for that. That's just my opinion. So Bryce and Zach going backwards. And I understand why Bryce asked the questions that he asked. He asked, he wanted to know, like, was Zach bi? Basically, because, you've been touching me. Me and my boys do this all the time. I'm like, who, dude? Who, my good dude, my G? Who you be touching like that? What dude have we seen Zach pick up from the front and from the back, touching? And who have we seen him do that with? Now, it's just not even in his character makeup. It was so done for that particular storyline, which I felt whatever. But I'm just like, that is not Zach's character. Zach does not do that. He doesn't do that at all. But I understood, and Zach made it very clear that he only loves women. He only wants women. Women is his thing. That's just what it is. And that's just what it will always be. And I felt that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he laid it out on the line. I'm like, all right, I don't need to say the P word no more. You said it. We get it. Then we see, excuse me, Belinda comes over to Angela's house, and she's talking mad noise about Zach. I told y'all he wasn't about nothing. She didn't know Fatima was there. And she was like, oh, girl, you know how we do. We know how we talk about each other, so on and so forth. And so I had someone comment about, they're curious, like, these things happen, and don't get me wrong, these things do. And they were like, I'm interested to see how, their friendship can come out of this. I don't see, this is just me, I don't see how Fatima can feel comfortable or be comfortable around Belinda, knowing that she genuinely was trying to have sex with her man. This was not Belinda being a friend. I could see you voicing your concern, but taking it to that step of you actually trying to have sex with him, that was, you cross every line possible when it comes to friendship. So I'm not sure how that can be, I don't know how that can be repaired. I don't know how that friendship could be repaired. And Angela, even though I like Angela, like I said, Angela kind of reminds me of a stronger, wiser, I'm using that loosely, Sabrina, because I feel like she kind of moves with however the water is flowing. If Belinda is saying something and she connects with it, she'll go that way. If Fatima is saying something and she connects with it, she'll go that way. I do feel like she does give good advice at times, but it's still wishy-washy. You know what I'm saying? She's still a little wishy-washy, even though I still say she probably my favorite character on Zatima. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for sis. I feel bad for sis because her man, I don't think she knows he rocked both ways. And I'm like, you putting your mouth on that penis and ain't no telling where he put his penis at and in who. We don't know. But overall, we're on episode, we're coming back next week with episode 9 and 10. I think they only have 10 episodes, so it'll be the season 1 finale. And so I will have the review out sooner, since it's only those two episodes that will be coming out. But like I said, no, I don't feel like Fatima and Zach are ready for engagement when they can't even talk about exes, when they can't even, and she still haven't told him about, Ian's mother and trying to be there. And this is the thing I think about women. I think it's valid and it's real. And even though Zatima is only a 30-minute show, I think that Tyler does hit on more relatable content in this show, because a lot of times, when I can't speak for men, I don't know, but when it comes from women, we tend to put ourselves in situations that are not always emotionally benefiting for us. I'm one of those people that, sorry, and sometimes people are just casualties of war. If me and your son end, and we end it on such a bad note, and it did something to me emotionally, it disturbed me, it destroyed me emotionally, and I have to heal myself and rebuild and therapy or whatever I choose to do to get back to my original form, and even better than that, ma'am, ma, you might be a casualty of war. And even though your son is dealing with this, more than likely I can't be that person for you to lean on. And I feel like Fatima kind of is willing herself into that position again when you've been freed. Move on. Yeah, we feel bad about Ian as much as we can, but it's not her responsibility. But I feel like that's such a real thing, because so many women do that, and I've done that too. You be over something with someone, and then here they come out the woodworks. I got this going on, and you lending your sympathy and your ear and all, and it's not benefiting you. They're still reaping the benefits of your love and of your time you invested in them, and you're not getting anything in return but just being a garbage disposal for that person. So, we'll see what happens with that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope I hit on everything. I probably didn't, and that wasn't my intention. But I think I hit on everything that I intended to say. But yeah, I will holler at y'all later. Until next time, y'all be safe out there.